Quick update into the recently come into bloom session that I did yesterday. One of these I couldn't get at yesterday because I wasn't watering it and it was behind loads of stuff, and the other one I just forgot, and one has opened overnight, so things are moving quicker now. This little Sarcochilus Hartmannii species, I just forgot yesterday. That had actually already opened, but yeah, it's a nice little spike. I think under normal circumstances it should have more blooms on the spike, but the spike's still extending. There's still buds pushing on. One thing I did do is have a quick look at that, and in the main this is a lithophyte, and I'm not sure being sat in bark is the best thing for roots that are normally growing on rocks. They would need a fast wet dry cycle, which that pot is not providing, so I'm going to have to do something with that later in the year. We'll let it have its blooming. I would like to see some new growths at the base, but anyway, too wet. Then up here we've got this little beauty, which is Dendrobium primulinum, which technically speaking I don't own anymore, because not only is this one of the orchids to go, but in the case of this one it's already been paid for, just hasn't been sent yet. But these three blooms opened 4 or 5 days ago, I think, and unfortunately the rest of the blooms down here are opening now. I'm not sure how that's going to travel with open blooms, but I'll do my best. At least some of these should survive. Whether those do or not I don't know, because they've already been open a few days and they don't last long. Primulinum blooms 12 days, maybe 14. They're a sort of 2-week one rather than a 3-week one. If you get 3 weeks you're lucky, let's put it that way. And then the one next to it is the Aphyllum, which has incredible similarities, but it isn't the same. Primulinum blooms are bigger. The patterning in the lip is absolutely stunning. Very nice plant, that one. The reason I'm keeping the Aphyllum, which has smaller blooms, they are similar, but the veining in the lip is not there. It is, but it's deeper inside and more heavily coloured, and transfers itself to the outside of the lip as well. So they are similar. These are smaller, but this was a gift. Out of the two, which are similar enough to think, do I want both? I'm keeping the gift. The primulinum is also coming back into growth now, so that's good. So that's those two, and the little Sarcochilus that I missed. Also, I discovered this morning that my Hercoglossum has got buds on, and the Friedrichianum up there is also got nubbins. So both of those, update the notes, buds coming. The Hercoglossum's a little bit early, but they're there. They're starting to show, and the ones I noticed this morning were actually quite advanced. You know, they were pushing away from the cane, 1/2 inch long. But in a bush, like this, they're easy to lose. So we got buds coming there, and also I noticed somewhere the big bush on the floor's got some buds. But again, on a big bush, you can see them 1 minute and then they're gone. They're in the bush somewhere, but there's some buds coming on that as well, down the line, and they take a while. Yeah, so there we go. Lots of buds on my Kaneko. This one's starting to push out in all sorts of places now. Another cluster down here. Another one up here. So this one's coming on now, pushing out clusters in various places. So yeah, that will continue to bloom for quite a while now, which is good. And the Mr. Hairy, which I'm not going to get down because I've just struggled to get it back up, the buds are swelling quite nicely now, so that's actually going to be in bloom in the not too distant future. All those of you who bothered to try and count the Jenkinsii spikes, some of you got quite close. A little bit naughty on my part, because there's still new spikes coming. I don't think all the spikes are even showing yet, even though some of them are quite advanced and the buds are starting to show on the ends of the spikes. But I got a feeling there might be a few more to come. But anybody who counted somewhere near the 20 mark is close. I don't even know if I've got the right count. You know. And the other thing is the little spike that started on the Dendrobium lindleyi, it's got a little partner. There's another one. So we'll have 2 spikes on that. And they're quite close together, which is good. Anyway, I've got lots to do today. Water all my pots, finish off the Orchid Society's magazine, get that off for proofreading, hopefully today, because I haven't got much left to do. And the last couple of bits of information I was waiting for actually arrived in the email this morning, so I can crack on with that today. Computer stuff, but I need that out of the way, quite honestly, because it's bogging me down. It's quite hard work, and it does actually have a schedule. You know, it's supposed to be out a few days before the meeting. Well, obviously the meeting's cancelled. I'm not sure the deadline stands quite so strictly without the meeting, but I need it out by the end of the month anyway, and 2 people have got to proofread that. A first pass followed by corrections followed by a final pass, so all these things take time, so better get on with it, hadn't I? Stop mucking about in here with the camera. Very attractive. It's funny because they're annual and they're not long lived, it's quite easy to forget just how attractive some blooms are, and that's one of them. And it's not mine anymore. You know, I'm sure there's going to be people saying, why on earth did you sell that? I've had it quite a long time, so I've enjoyed these blooms over and over. And as I said, when you've got 2 plants that are very similar, the rationalisation was, do I need both? I kept the one that was a present, and the other one was up, you know, for somebody else to enjoy for a few years. Very nice. See you next time.